Mayor and Council would like to acknowledge that we're within the traditional territory of the Secwepemc Nation. Before I ask for an adoption of the agenda, Mr. Daly, are there any additions to the agenda?
No, that was this one.
Okay. Could I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Councillor Burridge,
I'll second it.
Councillor McElravy, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried.
Did you raise your hand, Councillor Park? Oh, did we lose it?
We lost him.
We did.
The phone died.
Something's on the line again. Is that him?
Yes.
So what do I push? Speaker?
I believe so.
No, not the speaker.
Line one speaker?
The red button that's flashing.
This one here, wait a minute.
There.
No, I'm getting nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
You may have to use someone's cell phone.
Let's try it again, okay?
Councillor Park,
There we go, now speaker.
we got you there?
There we go.
Good. So we're going to assume that you are voting in the positive unless you say otherwise. Does that work for you?
That sounds perfect.
Okay. Minutes of the regular meeting of council dated January 13th, 2021. Could I have a motion to adopt?
I'll make the motion.
Councillor McElravy, second.
I'll second it.
Councillor Rivet. Any discussion, errors, omissions? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried.
Losing again?
We have no delegations. Question period, well, unless our staff has any questions, we should be good to go. Correspondence for action. Clinton and District Outdoor Sportsmen Association letter regarding rec site above the tracks. So this is in regards to the rec site above the tracks in which the club put in last summer. Because of where it is situated, it is unclear if this site could be used for camping or not. We are working at making this site a legit rec site with a proper name and uses. Please send your response to myself, Secretary Laura Paquette. So my question to staff would be, is this Crown land?
I'm not certain about that. I wasn't certain about the rec site that they were referring to, and we asked for some clarification on the letter, so what they're wanting to know is if they can allow for overnight camping on that site.
So this would be where they put in the corral and the,
I believe so.
okay. So are we able to give an answer to that if it's Crown land? Or do we need more information?
We might need more information about the actual site and ownership of it. If it is Crown land, it would be something to refer to.
Myself, Mayor,
Yes?
it's pretty vague. It's like we have not much of, the next we actually kind of had a little photograph of what's going on up there, and also for staff to know. And I can't remember in the trails plan when we were doing that, there was no talk about that being, that was, so it's something that they're I'm assuming that's coming later. But having said that, I guess like you said, I guess it makes sense to make sure whose land it's on, and they want to do this first, and then of course is and then we go from there, I think.
100%.
So direction to staff to get more information before we can make a decision?
That would be the proper way to go, I would assume, yeah.
Okay. Everyone agrees with that? Okay.
Um,
Yes,
sorry
Councillor?
to introduce again, Mayor, if I may.
Yes?
Just what they meant by, I guess the information is what they mean by a legit rec site. What does that encompass?
When I asked for clarification, it was to whether or not they could permit overnight camping.
Okay.
So what they were wanting is seen as as what you say is a legit campsite.
So I think we need to get more information before we can.
Over ownership of.
Yeah. Do you want that in the form of a motion, or is direction to staff adequate?
Direction's fine, yeah.
Okay. Okay, we'll move on. School District number 74, letter regarding former Ashcroft Elementary School property. So, they are asking for us to give any comments on the disposal of this property. The board would like to hear from the Village of Clinton about possible disposal of the property. There are various ways this can occur. So does anyone have any thoughts on the disposal of this property in Ashcroft?
Mayor, when I read this, I was just thinking, I could not think of any interest to the Village of Clinton myself. And having said that, I'm not sure if staff the reason to put any input on it. I didn't see any, I can't think of any reason to have any input.
My only concern would be what happens to the hub. As long as they honor that lease that they currently have.
And we don't
I
know.
apologize, Mayor, you cut out there. What happens to the what, sorry?
The hub that's currently in there, they have a lease with the school district. So my concern would be that as long as they honor that lease and keep them in there for the duration of that lease, and hopefully renew if that's an option. Councillor Burridge?
The only thing, like, I think there's quite a few people in Clinton that use the hub, so my suggestion would be that they attend the public meeting via Zoom, and if we just get the word out, because the more input. And I think the basic thing, people want to support the hub as is, and we don't know what the disposal will look like. They might sell it to the hub for whatever, so we don't know.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I personally don't even know what the hub is, to be honest with you. I'd need some information on that.
It's, they do a whole bunch of classes out of there. Like, that's where I go and do tap dance, and all the kids go dance. They have the online fellow here down there. And
They have a meeting room that is used
meeting
by
room.
various
They have
groups.
a room for seniors to do crafts. They have, I believe, karate. They have the gym. They put on performances when they're allowed. They have a music group. They have a gym. There's a lot. There's lots of stuff. It's a very happening place.
Yeah.
I think it's more or less used as a community hall type deal, like activity
Community center, yeah.
Yep.
And everything is reasonable for people to use. It's not outrageous to attend anything.
So your suggestion is that we just get the word out to our public to attend this Zoom meeting?
Yeah.
Perhaps we can do that through our Facebook.
Yeah, we'll get admin staff to post on our website and the Clinton Chatter page.
Okay. Thank you. Next, Silga, call for resolutions for 2021 virtual convention. Deadline is February 26th. So this came to our previous meeting, and I asked that it be left until this meeting to give us a chance to think if there was any resolutions that we wanted to bring forward. I personally haven't come up with any. Anyone else?
No.
Myself, neither, Mayor, I didn't come up with any resolution ideas. I guess do we still have a little bit of time until the 26th of February, I believe, or something like that?
Yep. So if anyone comes up with anything before then, please get it to CAO Daily. Okay, Village of Clinton Strategic Plan. It looks like a lot of work went into this. Are you looking for council approval or input?
Yes, ma'am. So the strategic plan was circulated to all the council. Any feedback was sought, so this is sort of a second draft, I guess, of the document. It's included some changes after feedback from council. I believe there's one additional change we want to make reflecting the Community Wildfire Protection Plan.
But yes, there is an opportunity for funding to update our wildfire protection plan, which was last done in 2006. So if we
So
could,
it is actually in there under the, on page 25.
I don't remember seeing it in, oh, I have it highlighted even, yeah.
So if council is happy with the plan as it sits, then we can adopt it and we'll post it, and it will be our new strategic plan going forward for the next year.
If I may, Mayor?
Yes?
There was, I just seen just a typo. I want to make sure it was on page 29. And it was just about the date. It was just August 2020 with the measure. Should that not be August 2021? For the part, that was the Economic Development Marketing Plan. No, I'm sorry, I apologize. That's for the Parks Master Plan. There's a measure completion of the Master Park Plan by August 31st, 2020.
It should be 2021.
So noted.
Yes, thank you. How did I miss that?
I caught another date.
Yeah. Was there anything else that anyone saw needed changing? Hearing none, could I have a motion to approve the strategic plan with that correction?
I'll make the movement to accept the strategic plan with that one correction of August 2021.
Okay, Councilor McElravy, seconder.
I'll second it.
Councilor Burridge. Any more discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. We have some correspondence for information. If you wish to speak to any of these, please stop me, otherwise I'll just list them off. BC Liquor and Cannabis Regulation Branch Policy Directive 2101, extension of temporary hours of sale and delivery. Interior Health, COVID-19 cluster declared in Caribou-Chilcotin. Legislative Assembly of BC, letter to Premier Horgan regarding Kamloops Cancer Care Centre. School District 74, news release, former Ashcroft School Property Community Consultation Process. Okay. And we have a reading file. With 4 items on it. If any of you would like to have a look at any of those items, you can ask at the front counter. So could we receive those for information, please? Administrative reports. CAO, we have none. CFO, under bylaws and policies. CDC, none. Public Works, none. Fire Department, none. Animal Control, none. And committees, none. Bylaws and policies. CFO, bylaw number 570-2021, the 2021 to 2025 financial plan. And there is a recommendation that council approve first, second, and third readings Oh, no, wrong one. This one is just for information? There's no,
Number 40, page
And
40.
Page 40, Madam Mayor.
page 40 is the loan authorization
Page
bylaw.
43 is the financial plan.
Oh, okay. Out of order.
I just should be seeing.
Okay, there is a recommendation that council read bylaw 570, 2021, the 2021-2025 financial plan for the first, second, and third readings and for final adoption. Would someone care to make that a motion? Anyone?
I'll make the motion that council read bylaw number 570, 2021, the 2021 to 2025 financial plan for the first, second, and third reading and for final adoption.
Seconder,
I'll second that motion.
Council McAravy. Any discussion?
If I may, Mayor?
Yes?
Just a point of order as far as I'm not sure it would be, there's a question to be first, J.O. Daly is, what, are we allowed to actually go through all the motions and adopt in the same meeting?
It has to be,
Sorry, I cut out, I didn't hear an answer.
So certain financial bylaws, you can do that. With majority of bylaws, you're correct, you can't. You need one clear day between third reading and adoption, but with certain financial bylaws, including this one, we are permitted to do adoption on the same day.
Oh, thank you for the clarification.
Any more discussion on that? Hearing none, I want to thank our Chief Financial Officer for all the work she put into this. And all in favor? Carried. Now, bylaw number 571. Bylaw to authorize the borrowing of the estimated cost of the construction of the new Public Works building. So this is the Village of Clinton Public Works Building Loan Authorization Bylaw number 571, 2021. And this one we can only take to third reading. Do you want me to read the entire?
Make them, if you want to make a motion, I should do it, and then we can do the, you don't have to read the entire bylaw.
Okay. So there is there's a recommendation that council approve first, second, and third readings of bylaw number 571, 2021, loan authorization for the new Public Works building. Would someone care to make a motion?
so moved?
Councilor Courage, seconder.
I'll second that.
Councilor McAravy. Discussion.
If I may, Mayor,
Yes.
I have a couple questions.
Yes?
The first is just the process. If this would be the first time we're doing this process before, as I have, and if we just get clarification, I know J.O. Daly has touched on it with us in the previous meeting, so just to clarify before we actually vote on it, the process, how it goes through, et cetera, as far as received through the electors, et cetera. And the second was the amount. I know we talked about the $1.2 million, but the only thing I am not certain about, and if I'm, was the actual money that's set aside from the community forest fund. Would that not be used towards it? And if so, then why would that not be a lesser amount that would be borne?
So the process for it is that we can take it to third reading here tonight, the bylaw. It has to go to approval by the appropriate minister. It comes back to us, then we can do adoption. Then we have to go through the TNRD in order to access the funding through the Municipal Finance Authority. So it actually has to go through the regional district in order for us to be financed through that avenue. We don't have to go through an elector approval process because of our loan carrying capacity. We're in a very good position where we've essentially paid off majority of the loans that we've had with MFA, with Municipal Finance Authority. I think we have 1 year left on the backhoe and maybe 1 year left on a fleet vehicle. And other than that, we have no outstanding loans with MFA, so we're in very good financial capacity in that manner. The reason for seeking the loan for the full 1.2 million is that the money that we have in that it's the community forest funds that we've been allotted to this date is actually making fairly good money in the account that we have it in, and it's actually cheaper for us to go and borrow the money than to spend that pot. And we do have other expenses coming up. We have some fleet vehicles that we're going to have to replace in the next couple of years. We know we need a new fire truck in 3 to 5 years. We're going to have to look at replacing that. And we don't want to totally exhaust that amount of that pot of money that we have to finance a portion of this, and we're still going to have to go and get a loan through MFA. It's better financially for us to borrow at the low interest rates that we're able to get through MFA and retain that pot of money for either, knock on wood, anything disastrous that comes up that we haven't planned for, to have that cushion, or to finance smaller purchases outright like a fleet vehicle, or to get us closer to buying that fire truck rather than having to go and get a loan for that as well.
Gotcha.
And if our CFO wants to jump in with any additional information, she certainly can.
The community forest money wasn't actually allocated to the public works building. It was always discussed, but we've never officially slated that money for that. So we would have to have, I guess, I'd bring it to a report. You guys would actually have to officially say that's what you want that money used for. So it was discussed, but it wasn't kept for that purpose.
If I may, Mayor?
Yes.
My only concern was obviously what is the best interest as far as financially. Of course, if it's making more money sitting there and then reporting money at a lesser rate, then it makes sense to it. That's my only question. Back to, I just wanted to confirm. I thought it was understanding, and that's why I was a little concerned about to the electors. You said so. It's not a policy that we have to, over a certain amount, we have to do electors goes to the electors then, right?
So it's not a policy that the village has. It's sort of the benchmarks that we have to meet within, like the Local Government Act and the Community Charter, and it depends on what your debt carrying capacity is and at what point you have to go to the electors for that approval. And because of the financial sort of the financial scope that we're in, our low debt load, we've been very fiscally responsible. We're not approaching that level where we have to take it to the electors at this time for this loan. So.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Any more discussion on that? Hearing none. All in favor? Carried. And that takes us to council reports. My report is there. The Community Wildfire Roundtable on January 21st was very informative. And through that, we learned that there will be funding coming up to update our Community Wildfire Protection Plan. I believe they said it's coming up in October.
I believe so.
So we'll look forward to updating that. As I mentioned, it hasn't been updated since 2006. So any questions for me on my report? Okay, hearing none. Councillor Burridge.
I have nothing to report within my portfolios, but I'll just give you a little blurb on EFRI and RCMP. We're planning another all community, some sort of uplifting event. So,
Sounds good. Thank you. Any questions for Councillor Burridge? No, she's not going to spill the beans.
Yep. I'm still working on it.
Council McElravy.
I have a board meeting to attend Thursday, sorry, with Gold Country.
Mhm.
So that'll be my first initial into that portfolio, and I'm actually quite excited to do that. I've had a lot of stuff sent to me in the last 2 days that I haven't been able to look over yet. Communities in Bloom, we have nothing on the works for the town quite yet. There's lots going on in the province, but that's not really pertaining to us right now. And there's nothing with Spirit of Clinton, obviously. So yeah, that's about it.
Thank you. Any questions for Council McElravy? No? Council Park.
Sorry, I'm honestly having some problems with my audio here. You guys voted on the bylaw, did you not?
Yes, we did.
Oh, okay, that was obviously a cut up for that split second you did because I didn't hear one word, but thank you. I was going to stop you and say you still got to vote on that, but anyways, the only meeting I had was the one I missed was the museum meeting, and just because they have it a lot on the days when I'm working, so it's by Zoom, et cetera, et cetera. There's a few questions that they asked, which I will get to the CEO and get a response back to them. But other than that, that is it.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Council Park? No? Council Rivet.
My report is there for people to read, and if anybody's got any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
You've been very busy.
Yes.
You're back in your groove.
Yep.
Okay, any questions for Council Rivet? No? New business? None? List of outstanding council previous action items. The infrastructure planning grant in progress. Silga, it was brought back to the meeting. iPads, if you're having problems with your iPads, bring them in. Have them looked at. Could we receive that for information, please? Calendar of events, we have none. We do have an in-camera meeting, but I have a motion to proceed to in-camera, or to close meeting.
I'll
Anyone
make
go
the
with?
motion to proceed to the closed meeting as per section 90.1 A and C of the community charter.
Thank you very much. Regular meeting. We'll take a brief recess.